the King of Kings.
Welcome to the Extreme Show, back on Saturday nights, and I love Saturday nights. Either way, as you're seeing, there is no huge iPad because Apple announced that the iPad 2 will be releasing in March 11th, so I just rushed my way to any shop last night and I sold it for about 800 bucks, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the iPad 2, and excuse me my voice, I'm about to get sick. But anyways, the iPad 2 is so amazing. You're looking at its picture. It has two cameras, one for FaceTime and the other one to capture life itself. And it has a faster processor, the A5. And boy, oh boy, this device will surely defeat Samsung Galaxy Tab. And that's all I got to say for the iPad. And it is a wonderful device. They also made a special cover for it that just sticks like a magnetic to, well, just awesome. So I'm just not confused, I'm just so happy about it. And that's all for the iPad. Let's get straight to business, as the Friday Night Movie Hunt have been uploaded as trailers for movies, and thank God that YouTube did not block neither one of the videos or trailers. Anyways, moving to World Wrestling Entertainment, but first let's see what TNA Impact did. Last week's TNA Impact, at the very end, they showed a clip saying 3311 and a guy wearing a coat. And that guy was surely none other than Sting. And on 3311, the night where everything was on stake, as we were going to see who will be in charge of the company, and we didn't get that clear. Was it Dixie Carter or Hulk Hogan? We still do not know, I believe. And the bigger surprise was the main event, which was between Jeff Hardy and an anonymous superstar, which was the man behind the 3311, and that man actually won that match, and that man was Sting, and that really sucks because Jeff Hardy is a true champion and he should have defeated Sting fair and square, excuse me. And I'm just really angry because Jeff Hardy is a fighting champion and he should have won that match. Plain old simple. He should have won it. TNA is screwing up Jeff Hardy again. Since he turned heel, he has been screwing up. And Jeff Hardy does not work as a heel. He is a great guy, he's a great face, and he needs to get his priorities straight on and defeat each and every superstar on TNA because most of them suck, excuse me. And now let's just head to World Wrestling Entertainment and Monday Night Raw. The wars are continuing. The war between The Streak and Triple H, the King of Kings. The war between Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and John Cena. And there is another war between Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler. Anyways, let's just see what is first. Let's talk about The Undertaker and Triple H story. So Triple H comes out, opening his mouth and not bringing in his A game. Again, both The Undertaker and Triple H are not 100% ready to have this match, and a match as big as this really needs a huge build-up, but I cannot see that type of a build-up. They did not get me pumped up to see that match at Mania. Hopefully within the coming weeks we'll see bigger build-ups and bigger feuds between them, and hopefully it will be a huge match at WrestleMania, and hopefully Triple H will be the man to end the streak of The Undertaker. That's all I got to say for Triple H's part on Monday Night Raw, responding or talking about The Undertaker. And speaking of responding, The Rock responded to John Cena's rapping, and he was not live there on Monday Night Raw. He was via satellite live, I believe, or even recorded video or whatever. So he rapped at the beginning and he said that he was not lying about loving the WWE, but if he truly loves the WWE, he should have been right there in the middle of the ring talking and responding to John Cena. And John Cena tweeted out on his Twitter account that he will give the final knockout to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the next Monday Night Raw episode, which will be next Monday after tomorrow. And I cannot wait to see the response by John Cena. And speaking between or about this issue, the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin himself, the host of Tough Enough, will be there, and he might even talk about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, his rivalry or whatever, and who knows? The Rock was talking about John Cena will be smelling what The Rock is cooking really, really soon, and sooner than we think, and I believe it could be John Cena, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Stone Cold Steve Austin at the same ring at the same time this Monday Night Raw, or at least it is between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. That will be an epic Monday Night Raw moment, and that will boost up ratings, and you know that, and it will be amazing. But since nobody announced that The Rock will be on Monday Night Raw, let's just hope that Stone Cold Steve Austin will talk about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to boost ratings up, and also to give us a heads up for what we'll be seeing on Tough Enough. And I'm actually looking forward to what Cena has to say and his second response to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And by the way, this whole issue is kind of removing the censoring committee from the USA Network, because the word bitch did not get censored, the word ass did not get censored, and that is freaking awesome to see back on the WWE. And we'll find out more about this, bringing the Attitude Era back, and we'll find out what will be happening on the further weeks. But there's another story or war going on, and that is between Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler, as Michael Cole accepted Jerry the King Lawler's match at WrestleMania, or challenge, but under two conditions. He picks the special guest referee, and he gets to have a trainer at his corner at WrestleMania. And so far he selected the trainer, which turned out to be Jack Swagger. The special guest referee will be announced on Monday Night Raw, so there will be huge stuff on Monday Night Raw. And going further to the main event, as John Cena confronted The Miz, or vice versa, and a challenge was made to the main event of Monday Night Raw, a steel cage match, but the steel cage match concept got by the general manager of Monday Night Raw. Either way, the challenge was, if Cena defeats Alex Riley, The Miz has to fire him as his bitch. And if Alex Riley wins, John Cena has to admit that, or says the word, or the phrase that The Miz is the best wrestler, or whatever the phrase was. But let's just fast forward to the end, as The Miz was taking pictures of John Cena in the match and tweeting them out. But in a way or another, John Cena managed a way to escape the steel cage, and that was the only way to win on that match. And he managed to escape, I believe, from the door, and then he got knocked on the ground, and The Miz took the opportunity to kick his ass. But like, no one showed no emotions for Alex Riley, as he is done being The Miz's bitch. I love saying the word bitch because no one censors it on the Extreme Show, and no one is actually censoring it on Monday Night Raw. But either way, this upcoming Monday Night Raw will be surely an action-packed Monday Night Raw, featuring John Cena's response and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and people have been saying Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson might return. So Monday Night Raw is a can't-miss episode this Monday on USA Network exclusively. Keep that thing in your head, and we'll be right back right after this.
With iPad 2, we've made advances in both form and function that are so significant and far-reaching. I can't think of a product that has defined an entire category and has then been completely redesigned in such a short period of time.
It's amazing to think that just a year ago, very few people had actually held an iPad in their hands. And now, with iPad in the hands of millions of consumers, it truly has become a blockbuster post-PC device. iPad 2 really builds on the success of the original iPad. It's a third thinner and up to 15% lighter. It has an all-new dual-core A5 chip, which is up to twice as fast, with up to 9 times the graphics performance. We built in a front-facing camera for FaceTime and photo booth, and a rear-facing camera that shoots HD video. And we've been able to do all of this while still maintaining up to 10 hours of battery life.
The iPad 2 really is defined by the display. There are just no distractions. By reducing what were essentially 3 surfaces to 2, we got rid of the structural wall around the perimeter of the product and eliminated the edge. It's not only more comfortable to hold, but with the breakthroughs we've made with unibody engineering, it's rigid, sturdy, and even more precise. While the back of the product is made of durable aluminium, we wanted to figure out a way to protect the display without compromising the iPad's size and weight. So rather than developing a separate case, we created a cover at the same time that we were actually designing the iPad. The two are made to work together. It attaches magnetically, it aligns perfectly, and it's just as easy to remove. When the iPad detects you've opened the cover, it immediately wakes from sleep. And when you close the cover, it puts it back to sleep. You can also fold the cover to create a stand for typing or watching a video. And the microfiber internal lining was even designed to help keep the display clean. There are 10 colors, 5 in polyurethane and 5 in a beautiful aniline dyed leather. We're constantly working to refine and improve, to simplify, to make something thinner and lighter, and yet at the same time, increasing its functionality.
With an all-new front-facing camera, we brought FaceTime to the iPad. It's everything you love about video calling on the iPhone 4, but better. The big iPad display really changes the FaceTime experience. At this size, everything is so much clearer and more expressive. There's a rear-facing HD video camera, so you can share the moments you're seeing as they're happening. But FaceTime is just the beginning. We optimized the iOS to take advantage of the A5 dual-core chip. And we're introducing new apps that really leverage all this processing power, like Photo Booth. It's so simple to use, and it's just ridiculously fun. With the new rear-facing HD video camera, iMovie is just a natural on the iPad. The display is so big that there's plenty of room to edit your video. And when you're done, your movies look awesome on the big, beautiful display. GarageBand is an absolute blast. You can use your own instruments, or you can just use the touch instruments that are built in. And those are integrated so well into the iPad that as you tap harder, it plays louder. It just reacts to what you're doing. When you're playing guitar, you can bend the strings. It's just amazing. You don't have to be a musician to use it. Just open it up, start tapping away, you're making music. Recently, we added new ways to share the content on your iPad. With AirPlay, you can share movies, photos, and music right to your Apple TV. And now we're adding video mirroring. Just connect your iPad to your HD TV, and it'll mirror exactly what you're doing on your iPad in any orientation and in full 1080p. We've done things with this iPad that we never could have done before. And it's because there's a lot of new innovation driving it.
It starts with the new dual-core A5 chip. That's added a lot more speed to things you do every day, like surfing the web, sending email, and multitasking. In fact, it's up to twice as fast. But the place we've made the biggest jump is with graphics, with performance that's up to 9 times faster. You'll really notice this in games and apps that use a lot of video. And for the first time, we've built a gyro into this iPad. That gives you very precise control in multiple dimensions, and it allows us to really measure the orientation of the iPad in space. These new components and features add all kinds of possibilities when it comes to apps. And even though we've boosted the performance, we haven't compromised on battery life. The new iPad still gets a full 10 hours, and that's a major achievement in a design this thin.
With all that we've added to iPad 2, the thinner, lighter design, the amazing dual-core A5 chip, front and rear cameras, and the smart cover, this really is a giant leap forward.
The original iPad defined a category, and I think that the iPad 2 will really define that category for years to come.
Welcome back, and now Tuesday night's NXT Season 4 finale, and boy, it was an emotional night, and screw everything that happened, and just let's go to the winner. Was it Brodus Clay, or was it Johnny Curtis? Of course, it was none other than Johnny Curtis. It has been his dream, but let's think about it. Season 1 winner, Wade Barrett, made a name for himself by the Nexus, and now the core. Okay, he became a true superstar. Season 2, who won? Kaval, where is he? He left the WWE. Season 3, All Diva rookies, what was her name? Caitlyn? Did she get a title match? Did she do anything? No. Season 4, well, it is Johnny Curtis. His opportunity is to team up with R-Truth to take on the WWE Tag Team Champions, which are the core, Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel. So, will this tag team be successful, Johnny Curtis and R-Truth? But nonetheless, let's think about Season 5 as, was it Josh Matthews or the other announcer? One of them said that Season 5 will be nothing like whatever you have seen. Or let me rephrase that. The point is that Season 5 will not be like neither one of the other seasons. Season 5 will be special. How special can it be? It's either an all-diva or an all-male or a mixed tag team rookies. Why can that be? Or an all-male tag team, all-diva tag team. We need tag teams. And if that happens on NXT Season 5, it will be awesome. But I do not know what the F they were talking about, and they promised us a huge show on Tuesday, next Tuesday, and something that we've never seen before on NXT, and Season 5 shall be the best seasons, and just like the iPhone 5, it will be the best iPhone. Either way, that was all on Tuesday night NXT. Let's fast forward to Friday night SmackDown last night on Sci-Fi, and The Undertaker returned. Again, not putting on his A game. He was just agreeing with what Triple H was saying on this past Monday Night Raw, and like, what else can he say? His voice, I believe, changed 100 degrees, just like Justin Bieber. And again, where's the Sarah tattoo? Did that disappear years ago, or am I imagining it? Either way, Undertaker is not putting on his A game. Triple H is not putting on his A game, and lots of theories have been put on. How will Triple H defeat Undertaker? Will Shawn Michaels be in his corner? Will Shawn Michaels interfere? Will Shawn Michaels be the special guest referee? All these ideas have been thrown out, and hopefully, in a way or another, The Undertaker goes down on the grandest stage of them all and never, ever returns. End of discussion. Another story is creating this huge feud between Cody Rhodes and Rey Mysterio, as he promised us that on the grandest stage of them all, he will expose his face and identity to the whole wide world live on pay-per-view, which is the most, the most idiotic thing to do, is doing that thing, exposing the identity of a luchador. It's not like we do not know who he is. It's not like we never saw his picture without a mask. The concept of wearing a mask in a wrestling company is being a luchador and never taking it off. Mr. McMahon have always tried to let Mysterio to go out in public in the ring, I meant, without the mask, but Mysterio refused. And I believe he still refused that offer. He might get kicked off the company, but either way, it's not worth it. And Cody Rhodes is really over-exaggerating. He is not hot. He was never hot, and he was never meant to be a cute boy since the day he was born. And these grooming tips that he was doing, they all sucked. Okay? And if a match happens at WrestleMania, like Mysterio and Cody Rhodes, and if Mysterio loses, has to remove his own mask, that really sucks and stupid, and no one will be pumped up into seeing Mysterio's face because a luchador's identity should not get exposed in a wrestling company. Moving on to the main event, which was not a wrestling match, was a contract signing for the World Heavyweight Championship between Alberto Del Rio and the Rated R Superstar and our current World Heavyweight Champion, Edge. And as usual, contract signing did end up with a huge fight, but Alberto Del Rio did manage to become the one who is standing tall for a few seconds, and then Christian returns, as there was a video saying Christian will be returning to Fight Night next week, but apparently he did not agree with that video, and he showed up to save his friend or whatever, and he beat the crap out of Alberto Del Rio, and Christian is standing tall. But is there a chance that we'll see a triple threat match between Edge, Alberto Del Rio, and Christian for the world title, and Christian gets the world title? That would be the most epic match we'll ever seen, because Christian as world champion, he deserves it. He have been working working a lot for this opportunity, and if he does earn it, it will be awesome. And doing it at WrestleMania when Justin Bieber was singing the national anthem, The Rock hosting, Undertaker losing his streak, everything's on the line at WrestleMania. And the most important thing that is on the line at WrestleMania is Justin Bieber's career, because it will be ruined if he agrees to sing a song at WrestleMania, but hopefully the rumors are not correct. Anyways, enough about Justin Bieber and enough about the wrestling industry, because that's all I got for World Wrestling Entertainment reviews. But make sure that you tune into USA Network at 9 p.m. or whatever, 9/8 Central they like to call it, and watch Monday Night Raw. Stone Cold Steve Austin rocks, probably going to do something. John Cena's final knockout. Everything will be awesome on Monday Night Raw. And if you are interested in seeing the feud between Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler and who will be the special guest referee, you'll also need to be tuning into USA Network this Monday. Thanks for watching the Extreme Show. Hit the subscribe button up there, comment right below, and click this thumb, not this thumb. Thanks for watching, and as usual, comment, rate, and subscribe like what I just said. And I'll be seeing you next Friday on the Extreme Show. Yours truly, AL-Mazeedi. Peace out.